Welcome back to the Minx28 YouTube channel, and guess what? A Kennedy is going to be in charge of health and human services if he manages to get through confirmation hearings, which will basically make him America's top dog.
What's up, Doc?
That's right, the guy with bits of his freaking brain missing because a freaking worm ate it. And as a result, I feel like, one, the things he has said over the years should disqualify him. 2, Kennedy curses really took a change up here in the modern era. I mean, good for them, I think. I mean, worm eating your brain versus, well, you know.
Headshot.
And if his confirmation hearing is anything to go by, just like Pete has Tiny Dick Path, America, we're big time
News reports have claimed that I'm anti-vaccine or anti-industry. I am neither. I am pro-safety.
The only issue I have with this protester is you literally weren't needed. And I don't mean that in a sense of, lady, shut up, let the man speak. I mean that in the sense of, would you please shut up? This man is going to sink his own ship. He does not need you to help him. Those of you not glued to political craziness like me, one, what's that like? Sounds really awesome until it shows up at your doorstep. And then I can hold over you, telling you how I knew it was inevitable and you should have listened. Then the fucking nukes hit and the world goes dark. Numero 2. RFK had a bacteria or something which essentially got a worm into his brain. I don't know the exact details around it, but I do know the end conclusion was that the worm quite literally ate this motherfucker's brain. This is America, however. Age, mental fitness, and mental health, physical health, and whatnot are not exactly requirements that need to be in the good for being in politics. A healthy amount of DUIs, child peddling, old money, lobby money, and last but certainly not least, inability to advance beyond a fucking flip phone. What? What the fuck? Are some of the base requirements to pull majorly in the DC area. But his health conditions, and I am not saying this at all to piss on people who are mentally disadvantaged due to medical reasons, completely out of their control, but this motherfucker, I am sorry, okay? This motherfucker right here is not fit to be in any government fucking position. He's just not, because the guy behind him is so fucking high that he got to be reeking, and even in proximity to such a thing that doesn't chill down Robert Kennedy. I mean, look at this guy. That dude doesn't give a fuck about anything. But in reference to this clip and literally every single question this man is asked in the first hearing meeting on his nomination, he tries to sidestep every question and fails absolutely miserably. Not even the wording, he just fails because before he can answer, the senators all smell his bullshit and immediately throw more at him. Each question he is denying or simply outright avoiding answering, thrown back in 30 seconds with quick direct quotes, actual footage, and photo evidence. They hit him with the facts that he quite literally has no fucking clue what he is talking about. You know what? Come to think of it, maybe he is high. I mean, his was laced and the guy behind him got the same stuff that made Snoop Dogg think performing for inauguration events for Donald Trump was okay. Subtle problematic, but not outwardly problematic is what they should name that strain of weed, because not a good decision, Snoop.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
That vaccines play a critical role in healthcare. All of my kids are vaccinated. I've written many books on vaccines. My first book in 2014, the first line of it is, I am not anti-vaccine, and the last line is, I am not anti-vaccine.
Before moving on to the next how did we get here moment of the freaking hearings, this line really stands out to me because you rarely, if ever, get this unintended candor from politicians. You see, every alarm that your politician warns you about these days is often one in which they themselves are not alarmed by it. Basically, the entire Congress was among the first list of peoples to receive Rona vaccines, even if they pushed the narrative that they somehow made you fucking Magneto. To which, if that was true, honestly fucking based. But also, it's not. Politicians love to say that government loans of any kind should not be forgiven, then turned around and got PPE loans and whatnot from the government during the lockdowns for their businesses and themselves. Theirs were forgiven rather swiftly, but an actual small business owner who got one of those loans will be paying that whole bitch back plus interest.
That is one big pile of shit.
Many of them scream they're transing your kids and turning the freaking frogs gay.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap.
But then those same politicians turn around and get caught smoking weed and trying to play find the fucking tadpole with children. They say you shouldn't do drugs and then turn around and allow the headline of Matt Gaetz as Attorney General pick to even be remotely treated seriously. And Matt Gaetz has quite literally done all of those examples and then some. Oh, fuck! But make no mistake, folks. They are lying to you when they say vaccines aren't safe. They are fine with you thinking that so you don't get it because you're just a sponge to squeeze. But their precious, soon to be insufferable nepo babies will be jabbed 1,000 times before they even know how to say a coherent word. This is a serious pick for a literal serious as fuck position in the cabinet, and the guy that Trump chose is neither a doctor or nurse. In fact, he is a fucking climate lawyer in his best years, which are long, long gone. He had a worm eat his brain. Oh, fuck! He kept like a whale carcass or bear carcass or some shit like in his home or car, and when it got too messy, he snuck into Central Park and placed it there. I mean, seriously, come the fuck on. What cartoon did this dude just crawl the fuck out of?
2021, in a book called The Measles Book, you wrote that parents had been, quote, misled into believing that measles is a deadly disease and that measles vaccines are necessary, safe, and effective. The reality is measles are in fact deadly and highly contagious, something that you should have learned after your lives contributed to the deaths of 83 people, most of them children, in a measles outbreak in Samoa. So my question here is, Mr. Kennedy, is measles deadly, yes or no?
I went there, nothing to do with vaccines. I went there to introduce a medical informatics system that would digitalize records in Samoa and make health delivery much more efficient.
Measles is deadly. Plain and simple. No further addition. One Google search gives you this answer. It's not rocket science. It's not a conspiracy. Measles is deadly, and its favorite food is children. So don't turn measles into Five Nights at Freddy's. If they are able to get vaccinated for it, get the child vaccinated for it.
Did you say that COVID-19 was a genetically engineered bioweapon that targets black and white people but spared Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people?
I didn't say it was deliberately targeted. I just quoted an NIH-funded and NIH published study.
Did you say that it targets black and white people but spared Ashkenazi Jews?
I quoted a study, Your Honor. I quoted an NIH study that showed that
I'll take that as a
certain
yes.
races
I have to move on.
First off, even respecting the comment and trying to take it seriously, sir, Mr. Monsieur, Dipshit McGee, China lost a shit ton to the coronavirus, okay? A shit ton of people. Jewish people were not immune to COVID because the only way to gain some immunity, temporary immunity, keyword tempa-fucking-rary, are those who recently had COVID and whether through the help of vaccines or strong immune system or a combination of both, were able to get through the flu times 100. Hell, you had some people catch the Rona and go down a spiral and onto a ventilator, and they were basically out of commission so long on that ventilator that by the time they had woken up, any antibodies in their body will have already been used up. But since I do not consider this dude as a serious nominee, which is consistent with my feelings on every single other nominee.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh, fuck! I'm just gonna state it as I see it. No grace, no mercy. RFK, you do not pass go. You join Adolf Hitler and his twin brother over there because that entire comment you made, even if you deny it, you quoted that study with respect to its findings. And therefore, you quoted a racist study, the same way Elon did a racist thing.
Dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe.
And though that's just usual Monday for Elon, you, Mr. Kennedy, are... Well, what the hell, half the fuckers in politics these days are openly racist, so I guess there's no real difference. Literally says that the ones who died did so because they quote-unquote race, and that a couple quote-unquote races didn't suffer because it was engineered not to affect them, even though quite literally the entire world went on lockdown during this period, to the point where quite literally nature was fucking healing itself for a period in 2020. Bitch, China literally had protests because their government was hardlining on lockdowns whenever like 4 people in a city out of 10 million tested positive for Rona. They were chaining motherfucking buildings shut because Rona literally acted like the most recent LA fires did. The shit spread quickly. And just like the city of LA trying to fucking shortcut fucking water reserves to save money, knowing the dangers they're in fucking wildfire season, and firing literally a shit ton of fucking firemen because of budget cuts, which is insane because it's California, and like the fire departments should be like one of the most funded fucking things, considering the fucking state's history. This is the same situation. Like, what the fuck?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Like, this shit is spreading the absolute fucking same, and we're gonna have a shit ton of diseases, all because the guy that we have in charge of ensuring that we don't get these things or are able to protect ourselves from these things quite literally does not believe in any safeguards whatsoever. And the few that he does are based upon, I don't know, the logic of if you're white, you can't get AIDS or something. I don't, like, this makes no logical sense.
You have started a group called the Children's Health Defense. You're the originator. Right now, as I understand it, on their website, they are selling what's called onesies. These are little things, clothing for babies. One of them is titled Unfaxed, Unafraid. Next one, and they're sold for $26 a piece, by the way. Next one is No Vax, No Problem. Now, you're coming before this committee and you say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on the usefulness of vaccines. Can you tell us now that you will, now that you are pro-vaccine, that you're going to have your organization take these products off the market?
Senator, I have no power over that organization. I'm not part of it. I resigned from the board.
That was just a few months ago.
Firstly, Bernie should have been against Trump in 2016, not Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, the worst mistake any Democrat has ever made. I will never ever forgive the Democrats for it. And any future socialists with presidential plans, do yourself a freaking favor. Wait until after the convention and receiving the nomination before you go full Bernie. Blindside the dumbass Democrats like this last election loss blindsided them. Pow! Secondly, he never ever denied starting the organization. It was never a pro-vax organization. Hell, I'd be surprised if anyone working in that organization even has a fucking license to be a fucking medical aid, let alone an actual medical doctor.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass up.
But I also really hope in the labeling tags for these onesies, it says, I lost my baby to measles and all I got was this onesie for $20-something. Oh, fuck! Along with the obligatory made in China tag that appears on quite literally everything MAGA related. If you are MAGA and just checked your hat to realize that same thing, welcome to the club of tired and bamboozled Americans. The first step to solving a problem is recognizing the hypocrisy of the problem. The second step is like, subscribing, and sharing.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's right, if you like, or subscribe, or share, or hell, do all three, then you become an important member in the Logic Gang. we are vaccinated. We also check for worms on the brain. And at the moment, we aren't accepting anyone who is related by blood to a Kennedy, a Gates, a Trump, and most important of all, a fucking Zuckerberg. RFK saying he resigned from this anti-vaccine org he started is literally pointless, because you starting the org is the very sign you believed in the very thing that the org still currently stands for. You are a founder, and like Bernie said, you just recently resigned. Likely because your campaign staff or Trump's campaign staff told you it will be a hard sell for the cabinet position if you quite literally deny the decades and decades and centuries of human medicine, which has allowed us to get to the point where the fucking measles doesn't fucking rank high on the child illness list, which is protecting guns' multi-year-long streak since Columbine. RFK should absolutely never, ever, and any variation of the pronunciation or mispronunciation of that word considered for this role. But to be the top doctor, the top food inspector, which, yeah, I know this is the end of this video, but let me explain to you really quick what his position sits on top of. Okay, the Department of Health and Human Services oversees 11 agencies, including the Food and Drug Administration, Centers for Disease Control, National Institutes of Health, Administration for Children and Families, and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Yeah, your grandparents on Medicare, his confirmation kills them outright. Do they have Medicaid, or maybe even you? Kills them too. Slower, but it kills them nonetheless. Worried about abortion rights, but glad you live in a blue state? Doesn't matter when the top guy has gone in pro-life to appeal to his new masters. What if the zombie apocalypse breaks out because this guy wants to give everyone only one vaccine, and the vaccine is injected in the brain with a worm? Bitch, you think he's gonna let the CDC control the situation and prevent spread? I think the fuck not. But what do I know? I'm just Minx28. Do you think my fears and concerns are justified? Do you think that RFK should be checked again to confirm on whether the worm is fully gone? Did you wash your hands after using the bathroom? And do all the zombie movies get zombies wrong? And in reality, it's just a worm, hence why headshots are the only effective means to end a literal zombie? I don't think so, but bitch, who the fuck are we kidding? Literally everyone has worm on the brain because this country has been going in the wrong direction for so fucking long.